and it looks like Britney Spears.
I think that they can hear me.
Hello,
Oh, yep.
chat. Can you hear us?
I think so. LBS says they can. All right, we're good. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So take out your long list that you have prepared for us, bud.
Yes,
We got an agenda.
we got
My
an agenda,
only-
I believe.
List says coffee.
What the fuck did you
Okay,
just
that's
say?
his personal grocery list, I think.
Okay.
That's
Pull out the
only list on my
podcast
table.
list.
I warned everybody. Well, I warned you guys like 10 minutes ago. I'm not a good host. Okay.
I think you're doing a great job.
Thanks. Podcast is where people talk and have arguments. I think you fight.
We
Yeah,
do that
we
enough
have
in
to
RP. Yeah.
I've
So
done
fight.
that enough already. We can pick the beef of the hour.
Okay.
Beef of the hour.
Yeah, we could pick
Go-
out of the big old pot of problems that we all have. Let's flesh them out.
Pete doesn't do weed anymore.
True.
Yeah, I don't think
I've
I
actually
like
been
that.
enjoying not being a stoner for a while, but yeah,
Is that something that it's
Probably
in
gonna come
character, or
back.
Is that like an in real life thing as well?
what? Stopping smoking weed? Hell no! God damn.
Here I am. I'm sorry.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
here's the
is.
host.
No, I'm
Here's
not
the
the
host,
host.
thank
Right,
God.
take it
Yeah,
away.
thank God,
God.
finally. The
Thank-
person with the questions.
She bought
What
the
is-
questions, thank God.
What do you
Thank
mean?
God. We all
Saved.
thought you prepared for this.
What? I forgot it was today until
Today?
I saw the group chat. Yeah, it's Wednesday for me, so
Huh. Alright, well, what's the first question?
I don't have I don't have any questions. You can't put this on me. This is you. So you, Bud,
Sorry, you're
the
worst
host.
fucking podcast host ever.
Well, this was a great podcast. I think we all enjoyed the time spent here.
All right, we'll see you in RP.
I gotta go unchain Panda's character from the fucking
Did you
bar.
chain him in the fucking basement or something?
You know, it wouldn't.
Chained him at the bar.
It wouldn't be the first time Pandas has been chained to something or locked in a room somewhere, because he was locked in a room with Smokey one time with one of Smokey's characters, his serial killer character, I believe. And Smokey broke both of his arms and both of his legs and sat there and watched as he
Jeez.
yelled and cried in pain.
Did he like crawl around a little bit? Because I'll do that. I'm gonna take that note. I'm gonna use that in RP.
I think he just sat there and just hollered and cried and pleaded
Oh,
with him.
God.
And Smokey just
Jesus
watched.
Christ. I just wanted an excuse to keep him in Van Horn. That's all I wanted.
And you have your
I just wanted
excuse,
there
and now he's
longer.
chained to the wall. He's never leaving. Like how you power gamed him into staying in Van Horn.
Hey, it's not power gaming.
Don't
You
you
have
say that.
Fake chains.
Don't you power
called,
game her into power gaming?
Rule breaker, rule breaker.
It's called extending the RP. You wouldn't fucking get it, Ethan.
Is that
Forced
better?
Can you
extended
hear me
RP.
I like short
Do I have to
stories,
turn her up
like
more?
little kids' books.
I do love the idea that he's got all these people worried about him and like telegramming him. We're just not letting him go to the telegrams. It's been 2 days now. They probably think he's dead.
I hope when he goes and checks that there's just nothing there.
No, that would be truly epic.
And then he realizes he has nothing and he hasn't gotten robbed while in Van Horn, so he ends up coming back.
We could just power
And
game it,
then,
it didn't get
hear me
anything.
out. We get him in the ring with Drummer, and then they fight for who gets to be the bartender of Van Horn.
That would be good. I'd
We
watch
gotta take
that.
that.
night shifts.
And then we'll get a special appearance by that one guy who calls himself bartender, and he comes to Van Horn and he sits behind the bar. And when we ask him for drinks, he says, "I don't work here. My name is just bartender." And we have this awkward interaction.
I haven't
Is
seen
that-
that guy in many, many,
Did
many
that
months.
happen?
Yeah, it does. It happens like every 3 months or so. He'll
Oh.
show up.
That's funny.
So I did a Google for you, bud.
On how to podcast?
on how to podcast.
Fucking perfect.
So beforehand, you have to have goals and be curious. You know, what's the primary goal of this episode?
Right.
You got to do some research. So I hope you did some research.
Okay.
You've got to have the 5 W's: the who, the what, the when, the why. Wait, was that 4? That was 4. And then I've got
Jesus
some.
Christ.
There's some questions here, some icebreakers.
Ooh, let's do that.
So here's a question for everyone. What is your morning routine?
I was just looking at that as well.
What kind of fucking podcast would that be like interesting to talk about?
Beauty
I don't know. It's a
podcast.
life.
My-
It's a life
That has
question.
nothing to do with beauty.
My
Ethan.
my morning routine is I roll out of bed, I check my phone, and then I sit on my computer, and then I RP,
And then?
and then and then I
And
have
then?
lots of fun. And then I
And then?
probably get a monster or maybe a coffee, depending on how I'm feeling.
And then?
And then I get harassed by Dakota and Van Horn.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I go to sleep.
Oh yeah, eventually I go to sleep at some point, like at 10 o'clock in the evening.
Very good.
It's like
very
a whole
good.
day routine, not just a morning routine.
What about you? But what's your morning routine?
I wake up.
What time?
Shit.
That's one of the W's. That's one of the W's. That's fine.
We're good. Wrighty took over,
12
guys. We got this.
12 p.m. Anywhere
On a
between the
good
hours
day.
of 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. It depends. And then I make coffee or I order coffee, and then I read my emails, and then I send my emails, and then I work, and then I get on RP, and then I go to sleep.
Nice.
I'm sensing a trend.
I am sensing a trend that everyone here does something little and then RPs and then goes to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have we considered well, we started up chess, which I think is I think that's going to be healthy for our brains.
Yes.
What,
But we're
it's gonna
doing
stop
it
the
in
brain
RP.
rot?
But we're
Yeah,
doing
it's
it
gonna
in
stop the brain
RP.
rot. Are we really committed to this list of questions, or can we move on to?
Oh, I
Well-
was just helping out a little bit. You know,
We,
I've done my part to help.
in the other podcast, one of the questions we got a lot was like everyone's favorite arc or like scene, which is a question that people probably want to know. So start.
Interesting.
Begin. Why don't you go first?
Oh, they've already heard it.
Yeah, we fucking.
What do you
haven't.
mean? We haven't.
Ah, you should have watched.
I...
Bad friends. L.
Jesus Christ.
If you supported your friends, you would know my answer already. So next,
Say
What-
it again.
what was
Say it
the
again for
question?
people in the crowd.
your favorite arc, like story arc on whatever character, or like favorite scene that you've had in RP. And remember, if you don't bring up a certain RPer, you're kind of an asshole for not making them the highlight of that. So remember that. Go ahead.
I don't have a favorite. We had a really good scene yesterday when we cried and hugged and made up. That's in my top 5
Aw.
last night at the Isaac's funeral. All of that was really special to me. Even though my internet was shit and I sounded like a robot the entire time, I loved all of that.
My favorite arc was when Eddie died. Sick stuff. Fuck that guy.
Is it just death?
Pure death.
Death.
I'm kidding.
Killing Booker
miss
was
Eddie.
good. That was fun.
That I enjoyed that too, actually. Because
I
I had
enjoyed that it hurt you to kill that character, I think, more than the IC stuff.
Okay. Fuck you. That was
I'm
my
sorry.
favorite character, and I gave that to you, you asshole.
I'm sorry, no, that was
You make her
I-
fucking cry. Stop.
My favorite part of that was I didn't cry over Booker's. I'm a serial crier. I didn't cry when I permed Booker, even though she was my favorite. But I didn't decide to perma her because I was just gonna like maybe just bench her forever indefinitely. But I didn't decide to perma her until the moment you pulled the knife out of her leg. I'm like, well, he's trying to help me. He's trying to help her by doing that. And I think because he showed that kindness, I think I should
Yes.
perma.
that's so fucked up. Because I was like, oh, if we leave her on the horse with a knife in her, it's gonna just dig around in there. And
It was the
that
only thing
she's-
keeping her alive.
like in an out of character thing too. I thought like, okay, if we leave the knife in there, Tank will probably perma. If we leave the knife in there and the horse is bouncing the knife around, so let's fucking take the knife out, poorly wrap it up, and just drop her at the sheriff's station.
As
So
soon
she
as
could be
you
found quickly.
as soon as you did that, because Sam came and he specifically did the slash me like bandages the knife in place, tightly. And when you took it out, that's when I'm like, oh, she's gonna bleed out and she's gonna die. And that's when I decided to perma as soon as you did that.
Yeah,
That's
messed
fucked up.
That is, yeah.
That is fucked up.
I think that's.
It had to
Oh.
happen.
I loved Booker. Booker was such a fucking amazing character.
I didn't fucking bitch.
It
She's
made
a cunt.
Sissika, like it made Sissika. It made the fucking not wanting to go there very real. I mean, out of character. I always loved going there, but I mean,
Well,
you know.
I thought that was the perfect way to go because she didn't have much story with. She had story with the bastards, and she had story with Alice and Mills, and she had story with Zip. And if I kept letting her get fucked up, and hurt, I think it took away from everything like that she was. She wasn't as scary if people can just fuck her up whenever they want. So
Mm.
just kill her and let her legacy be there. And now she's rotting in solitary just under the bricks. So
Fucking disgusting.
Turned
Out
to
a fucking
goop.
plexiglass window so you could see your skeleton decay.
I would love that. Let's
Oh
do
my
that.
God.
You're sick.
She'll be
Sick and
part of a
twisted.
museum one day.
They're
When they
gonna
fucking dig her
excavate
up.
her one time.
In the fucking 1950s.
What about you, Davey?
My favorite overall arc was probably the saloon arc. I thought it was hilarious. Every day was a new fucking silly
Oh my
thing.
God,
It
yeah.
was like yeah, we managed to keep it serious and we held it down, but it was definitely a great phase for the Dead End Gang. Absolutely loved it. Other than that, actually, again, similarly, I really enjoyed my original arc with Pip in the saloon and his sort of like transition to growing up and then like joining a gang. He used to just be a bartender, and yeah, loads and loads and loads of good memories from those times.
Pip is a saloon character? Like as a bartender?
Yeah, he was a stripper.
Oh my God.
He used to have the bow and arrow too, right?
yeah.
I
For
remember
a
the
time,
day
I was an arrow.
we had to breach the saloon and Pip was just going nuts firing arrows at everyone.
Pip and Effie
was
ran
always
the
getting into trouble.
saloon in Rhodes for a while. She would give baths
Yes.
upstairs,
Oh,
and he would run the bar.
I didn't realize
Indeed.
that Pip was also
And
there.
And threaten people with machetes if they didn't tip well.
This was
Uh,
after she got with Emmett, and she moved to Rhodes instead of Valentine.
And Pip moved to Rhodes because he was working under some umbrella organization. I can't remember what they used to call themselves now. sadly. But they ended up kicking him out because they fired him because he was threatening people with machetes to give him better tips. I mean, I danced around all the time, mate. You got to give me a tip, man.
Oh my god, I miss him.
He's still around, I almost logged into him the other day, but I decided not to in the end.
Why did
Bring
you
it back
stop playing
soon.
him?
Because of Pete, started focusing more on Pete.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It became difficult as well to juggle the two, especially when stories started intertwining with like the Kettlemans and Van Horn. It was like just conflict, I guess. Conflict of interest type stuff, and I was just like, you know what? At the moment, Pete's like story is sort of in full swing, and Pip's is dying down, so it's like the natural choice to give that character a break.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It has been a long break, though. I will admit it. It's been a very long break, but again, we've been having a great time. In the Dead End Gang and doing all this stuff, and yeah, it's crazy.
Especially recently, there's been so much random like series of events, like Zips showing up, and then all of the stuff between the Western people and Van Horn and things. So you never know where it's actually gonna go.
Fucking Westerners.
Fucking Westerners. When Zip came out to Dakota today and said that made me laugh.
Gotta say, when we were out there yesterday at the when you were finding Isaac, I was looking around. I was like, I kind of do miss this place. Kind of do miss it. I used to spend like all my time out west, with Pip. Not at all on Pete. We barely go out there. I don't know anyone out there.
I love the visuals of the West. Like, I fucking love it out there. It just looks so good. It looks so Western. It gets you into 1900 cowboy fucking era.
For sure.
Does anyone else? Oh, go ahead.
Go on. No, go on, mate.
I was gonna see if anyone else wanted to expand their arcs or whatever. We got another question too, so if anyone wants to move on, just let me know.
I mean, I was gonna drop the original DEK history, Well, I mean, so one of my favorite stories was obviously putting Malone on the island. Malone and Ripley on the island with Wallaby's last day of Sissika. It's his birthday, and then we drop those guys on the island. It was great fun. It was a great experience, and I would absolutely do it again. But also for me, I think one of my the Teddy arc, has been one of my biggest storylines. I mean, it's been going on for like 12 months. The duels and the crazy shit and the ranch and the fighting and the conflict, like, has just been massive. And he's now going back into the law department. It just feels like a proper like redemption story, and I love it. And that's it. That's me.
Now
That's me.
we need a favorite story arc per character in Dead End that you've had, Wrighty.
I've had a few.
We've got a few hours.
We got some dead air to fill, so go ahead.
Wow. All right. I don't know. Jack Reed. That was
Go on, continue.
moving on. Yeah. No. Move on.
I gotta say, every time I see Vertigo look at Jack Reed's gun and say, "What is this gun again?" and it gives me such anxiety because I think he's gonna forget and he's gonna sell it.
He's given it back to me. I was like, I have to pretend now that I hate this gun.
It means nothing to me. It's trash.
This is stupid.
It's so ugly, I'm gonna keep it. Just for keepsake.
I'm there like going, this is such a shit weapon. And then Wallaby turns around to me and like, do you like it? It's okay. I'll keep it.
I'm glad you made Archie a raging alcoholic. I think that's my favorite characteristic of one of your characters.
I just love the silliness of it. I like the seriousness that we bring to the table a lot, but I just like to pretend that I'm drunk, you know? I don't know why. I don't know why. I just
feel like it's a good excuse if you're not paying attention. If you do something wrong, it's just he's drunk, man. What do you want?
yeah. If I'm not paying attention, it's like I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea.
I love the awkwardness last night when I jumped on Archie's horse and he's like,
Oh,
"Hi,
God.
I'm Archie. We've never met before." I'm like, "Yes, we have, but I don't want to talk about the first time we met because the first time we met, I was trying to sleep with Archie."
I was like genuinely like, do I know Sarah? Does Archie know? I could not remember.
She was drunk in Rhodes flirting with him, and he said, "I'm married, but my wife won't mind."
He still lives by that prophecy. To be fair,
Oh
like,
my fucking god.
it's
I
just a
didn't
lot of
think
fun.
that I didn't think her ex-husband's funeral was an appropriate time to bring that up.
Yeah,
Better
I
bring
had
that
to. Yeah, I just
Honestly,
had to make sure.
No one would have thought differently if she did bring that up.
That's a good point. It would have been on brand.
That's true, yeah.
All right, Ethan, your turn.
I haven't had
Mexican
time to think about
Scout.
this.
Oh my
Ethan.
fucking god.
There we go. My favorite arc was also probably the saloon arc, to be honest.
What?
Yep, I really
What?
enjoyed the saloon arc.
Really? Is it just because there was always stuff happening? Was that
There was
why?
always stuff happening, and it was so different compared to everything else, where you're like stuck on your own being a criminal. You're like in a town pretending to be good while constantly murdering people and killing them and doing gun deals out of a saloon.
Yeah.
It was, I loved it. Great.
All the extortion, it was brilliant.
It wasn't the saloon arc also when Wallaby like pushed everybody away and like said that he gave the money away? Was that also in the saloon arc, or am I
Yes, I
tweaking?
believe
Yeah.
so.
Halfway through, because I think Wallaby walked away and then Edwin was like, "I'm gonna do this on my own," and that's when Edwin stabbed somebody with a fork.
Oh yeah, and then kissed Dakota in a barn, and then tried to blow up Flood with an oil tanker, all in
And
one
I think
night.
I think he also stabbed Harry that night as well, if I'm being honest.
I'm pretty sure the night that Edwin and Dakota kissed was the night that Harry was stabbed. I
Yeah.
can't remember. It all
Because I think
happened
it started.
in one day.
I think it started with the argument in the slaughterhouse. Harry pushed Edwin and said, "I hate you," and then she got stabbed and thrown down the meat hole, and then you two left together,
Yeah, that's right.
and then
That's
he
right.
stabbed somebody at the saloon, and then I think
Oh
you
my
guys
God.
kissed.
That was a fucking mess. That was a
Dakota
fucking
was
mess.
just okay and left her in the meat hole.
Yep.
Yeah, you just left
For
she just
hours.
left.
She didn't know that Harry was fucking stabbed.
I was
just thought
bleeding
that Harry
out,
got
getting an infection.
thrown down the meat hole. That's all.
Yeah, and Harry wanted to sleep in the meat hole. That's all.
I mean, I didn't fucking go check. I didn't go check.
He-
I just
he's-
saw a woman get thrown down a meat hole. So what? Get over it.
Bleeding out. Hearst found her. They were doing like slash me, moves carcasses off of her to
Ugh,
get to me.
Gross. Should have permit.
Disgusting.
Should have permitted. Could have saved me a lot of trouble.
Harry would have been it probably would have been for the best. She should
It
have
probably would have. It probably would have been better for her.
Now she's just dead inside instead of outside.
She'll be having a great like day, and then Wallaby will just come up and be like, "I think I put too much pressure on you." She's like, "What? What do you mean? No, I'm fine. Everything's fine." It's a lot of money you're holding, Harry. Maybe it's too much. And I'm like, "No, it's fine. It's all fine."
I like when he goes to interact with her and she starts cowering in the corner.
I actively
Everyone
try
worst
to.
fucking time of her life.
I actively try to avoid it when he's walking down the street. If you watch me, I'll do a big old loop around him,
saw-
avoiding him.
The other day, it was when Dakota choked Scout and left him behind the hotel. It was just I went to go. I think Scout punched Dakota, and then Dakota chased him, choked him, and then I said to Scout in character, I was like, I'll help you up," and he was like, "No, I'm just gonna sleep back here," and that's why I just left him like that. And so I watched Wallaby walk over to Harry, have a small conversation, and then he came back and he was like, "Dakota, do you want to tell me why Scout is strangled behind the hotel?"
Good
I have a
times.
fucking excuse. Yeah, good times. Getting wrangled.
Because every time I get into a fight with somebody on Harry, even if it's just for fun or just goofing around, or it's serious, but in my mind, like a fist fight is just goofy, right?
Mhm.
Just playing around. But every time it happens, like with Alice, with Zip, it turns into this serious fucking thing, and I'm like, and Wallaby, stop beating up people. Okay, all right, fine.
I thought
I
Zip
think
was only gonna last a day because of that.
Really? That's why Dakota was like, don't go beat her up more. Like you win this right now because she beat you up first. Don't touch her. She was like trying to make Harry get in trouble so that Zip would be safe.
I can't believe Zip's lasted this long in Van Horn.
It's been great.
No, I like having you around
I fucking
sometimes.
hate it. Pisses me off every single day. I don't want to log in. That's a joke, by the way.
I know, because we always just wake up and play fucking chess.
Yeah. I want the chess thing I want it to take off. I want to have chess championships in Van Horn.
I want
Zip is
somebody.
taking the crown from Van Horn.
I know it's embarrassing. I don't want to talk about my chess skills.
I want somebody to teach me how to play chess.
We
So I
don't
can
know how to
participate-
play chess.
Oh,
We're just
okay.
moving pieces around.
All right, I'm gonna just watch some YouTube videos and figure out the best strategies, and I'm gonna win.
Harry's gonna come out of nowhere and just start stomping the ground with chess in fucking Van Horn.
And Wallaby will threaten to kill her because Zip's upset at her for something.
All right.
I was just
Buttrito.
reading a book. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I
no,
was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say Harry was trying to read a book, and Wallaby just comes over and he's like, "I need to talk to you in the rug store," and I'm like, "What? Why?" And he just
No,
walks
thanks.
away. He just walked away from me. He was terrorizing me that day. And then before he logged out, he grabbed her around the shoulders, and then he threw her, and she's because it was up and down all day. Because Penny came, and he was like mad at her and terrorizing her. And then Penny came, and he gave her $1,000. He took her to the candy shop, and she bought all the candy. And then as soon as she was doing that, Wallaby's like, "Harry, forget everything I said earlier." And I'm like, "What? What?" And then he was just up and down all day, scaring the shit out of her for no reason.
It's funny. I love that so much. I think it's so fucking funny. Poor Harry, but
It
also
makes
not
me
poor
laugh.
Harry at all.
I love
She
it
had
when
her
he does
chance
it.
to leave.
Okay, Buttrito, favorite arc.
I don't know. I was stalling. And then I made fun of Ethan for not knowing, but I don't know either.
Do you want me to go? But you have to go right after me.
Okay, yeah.
Mine, I think, has to be the Not For Nothing arc with Zoe. Just because of how long it lasted. It was like a year and a half of build up to like the end.
What arc was that?
The gun arc where Sam Winters died and all of that happened. It's pretty much how Sam died, and then pretty much a gun of Zip's.
Oh, the one that he put like the fucking metal in or whatever?
Yeah. So Zip made a deal with Winters because Hannah got arrested with the gun, and Zip kidnapped kidnapped Bonnie Gray and took her to like a cabin, and then made a deal with Sam to come negotiate, and if he gave his word, then we'd give Bonnie back over. And he's like, I'll return the gun. And then so we gave him Bonnie back, and then he returned the gun, but he like ruined it. He filled the cylinder and the barrel up with lead. And so Zip finds out, and Zip's like riding. I don't know if he was alone or not, but he was like riding. We ran into Jack and Mills and Alice and whoever else was there. And Zip was like, I'm finding Sam. He went back on the deal because he didn't return a gun. He returned a paperweight. He ruined the gun that he promised. And Jack knew that Zip, at this time, we were like pushing the story that a Zip just willfully or willy-nilly targets law, that he was going to get hung in Sisika, and to kind of like pay Zip from going after law and stuff. And so Jack pretty much was like, okay, and went and took Sam, and then that happened. Sam died. And then Zip finally got a hold of Zoe and then took her to the boat that he shot Sissy, someone else that he cared for that he shot down because of like war and stuff. And then like right before Zip was shooting Zoe, she like kept screaming like, it's not for nothing, like it wasn't for nothing. And the way she meant it, Zip obviously didn't take it that way, and he was like, I have to kill you, it's not for nothing. Like I have to do this.
Yeah.
Or else it'd be for nothing. She was trying to say it like, we haven't had this relationship build up to this for you to just shoot me here. So Zip took it the wrong way and then shot her. And then from what I understand, the bastards kind of are doing the same thing to her. Or
Poor
did
Zoe.
the same thing to her with the not for nothing thing. Like, so that to continue still. Poor Zoe gets tortured every fucking day, but that was probably one of my favorite arcs. Just because it's specifically mainly because of how long the buildup was.
Yeah.
Because, like, the first time Zip met her was with Aurora when he first joined Kettleman Gang. And she was, like, bleeding out from one of the bloody hoods. And Aurora and Zip saved Zoe's life. And then Zip kind of, like, got close with her. Zip's always had, like, a couple deputies just to add that, like, good scenes where it's tense because you might be wanted, but you're meeting with, like, a deputy. It adds, like, some flavor to it.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing Zip now? Like almost 3 years?
No, 2 years. In 2 weeks, it'd be exactly 2 years since I made Zip.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Old bitch.
Yeah. But he didn't become, like, a character I played daily until, like, July. Or whenever Zip joined the Kettleman Gang. Was kind of like me and Liam. Because at the same time, Wicked Phoenix, who plays Isaac...
Played.
Played, yes. That's gonna be fucking
Oh.
hard to get used
Now I'm
to.
sad again.
Sorry.
He owned a Red M server, and that's where we started. And I was like the head sheriff over there, but I became an admin, and people would like kind of break character, and we were trying to get like that stuff figured out to where people wouldn't break character to come talk to like the people they knew were admins. And so to roleplay, me, Spoofy, who played Enola Quill, Oh Hey Liam, who plays Ollie Quill, we wanted to play somewhere else, so we applied to Wild. We got in, and so whenever we wanted to actually RP, we would play on Wild, but it was only like... I would play Zip like 3 hours a week. And then I went in, it might have been the amputation surgery, but I went in, and while I was like in the the pre-op room, I was like on my laptop doing all the prices for like the horses and stuff. And when I woke up from surgery, I got a DM from Wicked saying, hey, I deleted the server. And I was like, great. I just spent the entire time waiting for surgery doing all this stuff.
Oh my god.
I mean, it helped keeping my like head clear of obviously I'm gonna wake up without a leg in the morning, but waking up without the server, I think I was more disappointed that I did all that work for the server to be deleted than my foot being deleted.
That's
But, yeah.
fucking funny.
All right,
It
your
doesn't
turn.
like. Oh no.
Don't try to change the subject.
I think I don't know. It's difficult to put my finger on my favorite arc because you can weigh favorite arcs by how much happens or how much the story changes. And then I always like RP because of story related things rather than just being busy every single day. And I think in terms of story and character development and actually something feeling different within the gang, I would say this current one, even though it's not
Mhm.
over, but I think from when Irene was killed, and then Hart was killed up until like this current area, the whole change and dynamic of the gang kind of shifting and relationships going up and down between some characters and stuff. I think it's my favorite just because it actually feels different. Like from the start of when Dakota joined up until the recent arc, the relationships have always maintained the same, and it's never really put me in a position where I would have to change the way my character behaves or the way that her morals are set. So it's never really been, it doesn't pique my interest that much. But this arc, I would say there's a lot of things pushing people to adjust and change, which I think makes it more fun for me.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well said.
Thanks.
No, this current arc is brilliant. Like, suppose it's not over yet. That's kind of why I didn't put it in there. But there's been so many great arcs. You know, with Dead End, like the whole arc with Husky and that whole thing. Like, I was kind of almost along for the ride on that, and it was amazing to be a part of that and to watch the characters between just the change of Wallaby in that time. As soon as he came onto the scene, it just changed Wallaby's sort of like whole dynamic. He became timid almost.
Yeah.
For a time. But then obviously, got through that. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I think things with RP that actually make the characters like noticeably different, because of course you can change a thing here or there, and with the flow of it all, sometimes you find a new path for the character via RP. But I feel like this one specifically has been such a it's been like a putting a wall in front of a lot of characters, and they have to decide on where to go. It's actually been challenging story wise. You don't just get to go with the flow. Things are being disrupted, which I think is good. And I like everybody hating each other, if I'm being honest. I think that's very, very fun.
It's anarchy in the streets.
It's all love.
It's all love,
And
baby.
now we
It's all
brought
love.
Zip into it.
That's why I play a drunk.
That's why I play
Oh
a
my
psychopath.
Dakota cries herself to sleep every single night, I think. I've decided.
Good.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Well,
There's another question that someone posted. Where would everyone want the story to possibly, I believe, end with Dead End Gang and Van Horn in its current state? Or maybe possibly go with Dead End Gang? Probably possibly go. So where would everyone want the story to possibly go with Dead End Gang and Van Horn in its current state?
Like their individual characters?
I'm assuming, yeah.
I feel like that's hard because
Yeah.
what a lot of people want, a lot of that can be very meta stuff. And it's like you don't want to spoil it where you want it to go where you think it'll go, because you may very well do that in character. And you don't want to spoil it,
I want Van Horn to be blown up, and then I want them to just mow the entire thing on the map down.
Just nuke it. Yeah.
Megley's in chat. Let's not give him ideas.
Get out of here.
Sans
not-
is listening.
I love Sheriff Sand.
Me
I love
too.
him so much.
Yeah, let's
He's
talk
my
about
favorite.
Sheriff Sand for a
The
second.
fact
He's
that
my
he actually
favorite.
squares up in Annisburg is my favorite fucking thing. I love that. I love that
And he's-
so much.
He's such a hype man. He's like the biggest hype man you'll ever get in front of you.
Absolutely.
Like when he's just there going off and he's like, "You're dangerous." I'm like,
Oh, I am dangerous.
"Yeah, ooh, I'm dangerous."
I thought I was just a drunk.
He's so fucking good
That's
at it,
funny.
man.
Oh my god.
For me personally, since Harry's not really in the Dead End gang, I've always said that I have 3 possible outcomes for her, depending on, and they're all loose because obviously, different things will happen and RP dictates whatever. But she's either going to be dead by the end of it or in Sisika by the end of it. And if I'm feeling guilty, I'll probably put her in a coma for a long time and
I'm
then
stringing that bitch up. She's going on a meat hook at the end of it.
she'll probably end up in Sisika or dead. And
Bro, it's
possibly, like, maybe I thought about, like, what happens if she lives. Maybe she would go to Thieves Landing. But those are all heavily, like, RP dependent.
And sleeps with Vern?
Not
Dakota was
sleeps
right
with-
all along.
That's right. That's right.
I don't think so. I don't think she's ever gonna have any more relationships ever again after those 9 people die. She's never gonna have any friends ever again.
Ooh,
I think
that's a
that
good
she
question.
should. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead and then I'll ask the question.
Mine was stupid. I was gonna say that Harry should get turned into Law's greatest soldier because she's gonna have nothing to lose.
I really
a
want
comic
Harry. I really want Harry to become what she hates the most. Like I just want her to become a criminal. I want her
You want
just
her to
one
snap?
day. Yeah, I just wanted to snap. I wanted to become her environment. I just want to. I just one
I
day
could-
pulls a
Van
knife
Horn
and
when everyone's dead.
yeah.
I think
just
I
fucks
think the
everyone
only
up.
thing that's stopping her from doing that is Scout, because Scout really wants her to stay like true to her, like stay good. And
Or does he just want to keep the money?
Scout's
I
gotta
mean,
go.
maybe I don't know.
Find out.
Find out in RP.
Oh my god. Okay. So there's 2 really good questions. One is, who do you consider your character's nemesis?
Scout.
If they have one.
I was about to
Yeah,
say,
yeah, honestly,
Dakota.
Actually.
They're like an old married couple,
Yeah,
always
that's
fucking
right.
bickering and back and forth with each other
Yeah,
constantly.
the old married couple where one of them strangles the other behind a fucking hotel and then just leaves them there hoping that they'll die. Classic.
I can't really answer this one because Zips changes every day when I wake up.
A roll of the dice.
I roll the dice. I go through the wild Discord, I pick a name, and I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes.
I don't think Dakota has any. Like, there's not really anybody who has ever completely done her wrong. There's been people where she'll see them and she's like, oh, you. But that's it. And then she just argues with Scout, but she doesn't hate him or anything.
Pussy.
I think the only
Sorry.
person that Harry was ever really mean to was Ducky. And that was it.
I don't know. You're pretty mean to Zip.
That's just me. That's
You're
just
pretty mean to
OC.
Dakota as well, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it,
Think about it.
I
No,
don't
you
like
fucking
any
hate
of
Hate
you.
Scout.
I don't like any of you.
Okay.
Oh,
Pete
there's a good
doesn't-
point.
Yeah, Pete doesn't really have a nemesis. I'd say most of the time it's because he was high and didn't take too much offense and forgot about it after 5 minutes.
Oh god,
Uh,
Pete's
but Pip-
offended, Ark.
Pip was definitely Henderson for sure.
Long time
The
listener,
fake
first time
pirate.
caller.
Profit.
Well, kid, you just keep trying at it and you'll get there. The next one is, what is the most defining moment of your character's storyline so far, in your opinion?
That's a really hard one.
It
For
is,
me.
because there's a lot of our characters have been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think what Pete, Harry, and Archie are the newest ones. Scout, Dakota, and Zip have been around for a couple years.
Harry's been around for
Oh, she was in Guarma,
a year. I've had her for a year or more. I've had her for a year and a half now, I think.
I think
I
Archie's.
oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead. I saw a pause
Have a good
there,
night,
so I took
Megley.
it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I always think of there's major story points with Harry is she got stabbed by
We're
Edwin.
posting
She
your
got
questions that you're
tortured by
asking
Tommy
chat,
Two
guys.
Snakes and all
We
them.
are putting in
She
the
got
Discord
really
to
hurt by the hobos, and
ask
then
everybody.
the next one, like, that whole thing with Wallaby threatening to kill her. Like, those are all major like points
He did
where.
what?
What?
Just kidding.
Those are all points that really shifted her, and then each death as well. And there was a point also, I was just talking about it the other day, where she had to choose between Scout probably dying because Ethan made me cry and I thought he was gonna perma, or taking him to the law and turning him in so he could get medical help. That was a big point too.
I should have
So-
permitted the law scare.
Oh my god. Those are all just like major ones that stick out to me. I can't pick just one.
My worst one. My worst one was when Wallaby made Archie the fight leader, like the fucking general.
You mean the fucking daycare guardian?
Keep them safe. I was like, oh god, here we go.
Babysit.
Jesus. But it's like, when he did it, I felt such tremendous pressure. I'm like, here's me. Like, so especially the first scrap I got into with Archie, and we got Jasper running around like headless chicken. You got fucking Eddie being Rambo, and that was stressful. Like, that was stressful. But it's just this massive amount of stress where I've got these guys like you guys who have got very wanted like characters who, if I make a wrong call or a wrong decision here, it's all going to shit and you're all going to jail and it's all on me.
No pressure though, so don't worry.
I'll keep that in mind next time we get in a shootout and we lose.
Yeah, so it's like that. I don't know. It was kind of a big deal for Archie. It felt good for him, but for me, OOC, I'm sitting there like sweating. Like fucking sweating buckets.
It's like a fucking 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. And then I got Wallaby after a gunfight going, keep them safe, and I'm like, fuck. If anything happens now, I'm getting fucked.
No pressure.
So yeah,
No pressure.
yeah. It's all good. It's fun.
Yeah, that's why
Fun
he drinks,
time.
'cause he's
Yeah,
like,
that's why
"That's
he-
fun."
If anything goes wrong, he was drunk. That's it. It's job done.
Davey, do you have a favorite moment? Or favorite defining moment? What was the question?
I am trying to think of one. Honestly, I cannot think of one right this moment. When you say defining, like, I don't feel like my characters really changed too much. It was the
you were a
overall.
stripper and then a killer.
Oh well, okay. We were talking about Pip.
I think it's any
I mean,
character.
that's different. Yeah. Come back to me. I'll have to think about Pete. I was just thinking about Pete.
Remember when Pete got off the weed? That was a defining moment.
That's fucked.
What about the fucking
God
time
damn.
that Pete got clobbered over the head by Wallaby for telling the truth and being honest with him?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. But again, did that really define the character? Maybe to you guys that define like the character a bit more, but
That's true. Yeah, I guess it's from the
yeah.
inner viewings, inner POV.
Indeed. I think overall, like Pete, went from being really distrusting of everyone and everything, and including the gang, to trusting them, and now to starting to not trust them again.
We've gone full circle.
Yeah.
Zips
But,
is probably going from herbalist to Kettleman gang.
From an
In like a
herbalist.
week.
Herbalist.
He was the reason why we went out west was to pick flowers to make opium, to make NyQuil.
Oh, I fucking forgot about that.
I think
Yeah,
that
that's
day.
like the arc. That was yes. What you're about to say is 100% the exact same day.
Yeah, it was. I think it's August 28th. I can't remember now because it was like 2 years ago now. August
Yeah.
28th is, I think, the day that
'Cause-
Effie and Nash died. It was the same
'cause
day.
Jack sent me to Tumbleweed to talk to Nash on how to make opium. And we went there and we ran into Marquis and Boone's boys. And they're like, oh, Effie and Nash aren't here right now. Come back tomorrow. And we came back the next day and they pretty much said that they died. I was like, oh, well, okay.
That's
And then-
pretty funny.
Those motherfuckers let us die.
Pretty funny.
They were in the saloon. They were supposed to back us up.
They're symbols now.
Cheeks. Jack never made Zip shoot Sissy. He thought he had to prove himself to the Kettleman gang. Jack didn't even know that we had Sissy.
Isn't Sissy an Italian, or is this like a different one?
No, it's because when Zip joined, pretty much he was like dating Jade from the Pavi.
Uh-huh.
And Jade and Zip got stabbed by the DiCenzos and Bloody Hood. It was Devin from the Bloody Hoods, and the DiCenzos were there. And he pretty much got stabbed because he was seen with Jack. And that's it. He was just seen... Zip was seen riding with Jack. So they stabbed Jade and then stabbed Zip.
Huh.
And Aurora found Zip, and that's when Zip went to Jack and was like, I'll fight this war with you. And he was like, okay, mount up, let's go.
Oh, okay. So the Italian one then? Sissy?
Yeah. Sissy, I forget her last name. Valentine?
Tortellini.
Yeah, ravioli, something like
Valentini,
that.
I think. Did you think of one, Davey? Who hasn't answered this question? Or should we move on?
I'm waiting for Ethan to answer it.
I've been trying to think of one, but I'm
Oh
like,
my god. Would you like me to answer and then you guys can go?
okay, listen, there was a big moment when, like, for Scout, obviously Dakota cheated on him, quote unquote, cheated,
Boo!
whatever,
Get over
right?
it!
Like, that was a big trust thing with him, but I wouldn't say that's the most defining thing. There is. We'll go with that one. Because there's another one, but it's also like kind of meta guarded that will show up eventually. But if
Is
I
it-
say it, then people
Does
will
everybody
know
already
it.
have we all lived it?
No.
So it's like a future plan that you have that will define Scout.
Future plan or future.
Like it hasn't happened yet?
Correct.
Okay.
Not like it has happened, but I just can't. I have no way to properly explain this.
Okay, you keep that in
It's
your
a
pocket
secret.
then. Yeah, you tuck that one away.
You just wait, pal. You just
A,
wait.
a
Listen, you fucking
secret.
piece of shit.
Dakota's an asshole for making that Scout's biggest.
You could just
was
leave it as Dakota's an
cheating.
asshole, and that's fine.
Dakota's a fucking sloop.
That is not true. It was a one-time thing, and it was just a kiss in a barn.
It was a one-time thing, but also it happened
It's
multiple
worse
times.
in a barn.
Actually, no, it only happened once. Are you on crack?
What do you mean? They kissed at the manor.
Yeah, after.
Ooh,
On the balcony.
boo.
This really hurt, huh?
Boo.
Oh, that's funny. I thought you were like she had multiple affairs with like.
Oh,
other
she did.
people.
Oh, she did.
No, she did.
She just hasn't said anything about it.
That is not true. That is not true at all.
One of
Oh
the
my
funniest
God.
things with Dakota, unrelated to like all of that, is how many people have tried to fucking flirt with her and get with her in character. It has been the funniest thing ever. There was one guy we spoke to like literally one time. She was like, "What are you trying to do? Date me?" And he was like, "Yeah, kinda." It's like this dude was brand new to the server, and it's happened so many times.
It's just so stupid. It's the whole reason why she started the whole "I'm married" thing, was so that people would stop doing that, and then it started working. It's been my fucking saving grace.
Good times.
Yeah. I think I think there's two moments that would be like defining. One of them is more recent, and then the other past one that I was going to use as an example, I completely forgot about. And I just remembered it. It was when Edwin kept trying to get into a relationship with Dakota, even
The
though
high
she had
socks.
moved on. and she had to keep telling him no, no, no. And it was like the first time that Dakota has actively like had to not just give somebody like what they wanted to appease them, and she was like, no, like, no, thank you, that's a bad idea, that's a bad idea. And it was like her learning how to push somebody away in a certain sense. And then I think the most recent one would be, and I know that this is a defining moment for another character, but I think it heavily plays into how Dakota as a character has changed and how she has to learn, is when Wallaby had that injury on his hip and his face. I think that it changed Dakota in a lot of ways to where she's had to start prioritizing like people in the group and kind of putting her emotions in certain places that have never been like a priority before. Like it changed a lot of the dynamic on how she operates within the gang and who she speaks to, and you know, if she gets like a lot of trust in certain people and things like that. So I don't know if that made sense, but it's the best I can do, best I can offer.
Not fair enough.
That was great. Poor Eddie in his fucking high socks, and you just turned him down.
She said no like 15,000. You know, it never fucking would have happened. But Scout and Harry kept telling him to go ask her
Whoa,
on
whoa,
a
whoa,
fucking
whoa!
date.
Don't say Scout. Harry
It was
pushed for that
Scout.
one.
No,
What?
Scout was there as well.
What do you not for that?
What do you want from me? Edwin was sitting there crying to me on a balcony, and what can he do? What can he do? And I'm like, well, you
No,
can
I'm
try
talking about
this.
a different, like it's a combination of things,
Oh.
because I think it was Harry and Scout that convinced Edwin that he should write up a contract with Dakota. So then he came over to her and he was like, "What do you say? What do you say? We give it another shot?"
Okay,
And she was like, I need a little while to think about it." And
That
it
was a
happened like 3 other
joke.
times.
That was like a haha, you should do this because it worked for us, and not actually serious because that's a fucking absurd. Like, present a woman with a contract. Like, sign
Yeah.
this, sign this.
I mean,
Please
just
sign
because
it.
something's a joke doesn't mean that it doesn't, you know, impact RP and things. So
Definitely not. I'm glad he went with
Dottie
that. I
and
think that's hilarious.
Ty
Yeah.
Shallow, thank you for the subs, guys.
good
Welcome.
times.
I
Or
miss
Edwin, man.
Smokey.
Now we got to deal with this fucking cadet.
I know, his
Deputy.
fucking Deputy Otis and his
Fucking
fucking
Otis.
singed bacon.
I've already gotten into an argument with him on Otis. I don't want to hear it.
There you go, arch nemesis right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is your arch nemesis.
In every single life of RP that I've had, he's been my nemesis. Even when he's my friend.
Except for Leroy.
Except
Bookie, is
for
that you, Bookie?
Oh no, that he went. He
Poor
went.
Leroy's so sad now.
Yeah, his punishment was exactly when it was time for him to leave Sisika. The exact moment, the exact second his time was up, Booker was taking him off the island. That was his real punishment, is leaving Sisika.
Funny. If I hit this woman, will I get to spend more time with Bookie? Like, that's what he'd be saying when deputies were arresting him. It was so funny.
There's a couple questions that are gonna be kind of hard to answer, but I'm gonna ask them so you guys
Okay.
look like the bad guys. Who does everyone put on their law outlaw Mount Rushmore and Wild?
What the fuck does that mean?
Like, I think like I don't
How many
even-
The
people
faces,
are-
the faces of law.
How many people are-
in Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore?
Is it
Four.
4?
4?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
for
is it
law.
like a fucking top
Okay.
four
He's
type of
googling
thing?
Mount Rushmore.
I don't even
I
know.
literally
I
am.
think Lincoln, maybe?
Who are these people?
I know who they are. Just how many of them are
I
there?
fucking don't. I'm
There's
Canadian.
4.
What is it,
I'm
like
American, I know
Jefferson,
this.
Washington, Lincoln, and...
Okay, you're asking too many questions, bud.
Alright,
Too many
someone was
questions.
starting to answer, so whoever that
Oh.
was...
It was me. For law, the top 4, Sheriff Sand.
Yes.
This is in no particular time frame because Sheriff Banks is dead now, obviously.
I didn't know Banks, but I agree with Sand.
Sheriff Carter, because I love Sheriff Carter. And who else? One more. There's another great lawman. God, I thought I was
Otis.
so not Otis.
Otis.
I think actually I think Zoe is a good example of a lawman because she's really giving and she takes everything. She gets so much shit, but she's always there, and I think she would be on my Mount Rushmore as well. For law, I'd have to think more about the crim side.
I don't even
McGregor
think I
would
could come
definitely
with
be
a
up
fucking
there.
list. Yeah, him and his big
I'd
fat
say
chin.
McGregor.
If he
Yeah.
didn't shave his beard, yes, I'd agree. The moment that thing came off, not in my book.
Clyde Davis would be on my crim, Mount Rushmore.
Just him.
For now,
just
I
him.
want the rest of you to kind of answer. I don't want to sit here in silence and think about it.
I don't think I could literally come up with a list. I don't think that's possible. I don't want to make a list.
Coyote
Yeah.
would be one for sure.
Coyote was so good.
Oh my god.
Same
I
with
love
Valentine.
Coyote.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking pissed off that they're dead.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
It's you.
I know, I
it's you
know.
people. You did this.
Really, I'm in character. I'm not pissed off. In real life, I'm fucking.
I
I'm
forgot about
devastated.
that. Zipsleeve and Van Horn.
Shut up.
I've suddenly, I mean, do I have to put Wallaby on my criminal Mount Rushmore? Am I obligated by marriage to do this?
I mean, he would be up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
he
I
would be
think
up there.
I think he would be up there. Yeah. So Wallaby and Clyde Davis. I'm trying to think of 2 more.
Jack would be up there because he did a lot.
He did a lot
might
out
be
west.
biased,
Absolutely.
He's not on mine. I don't like Jack Kettleman, and Peppo
You
knows
don't
it.
have to like him, but like
You
as
don't
a,
have to like him, but credit where credit's due.
it's like a founding fathers type of beat.
He'll get an
Yeah.
honorable mention on my Mount
Jack
Rushmore.
is Zip's daddy.
Jesus Christ. Is that a sizable Mount Rushmore?
No, I only
There's
have
like-
2 people on mine. I'm waiting for, like I said, the rest of you to kind of fill in.
I'm not gonna fucking build a
Mm.
Mount Rushmore. I don't think that's physically possible for me. I know the names of about 3 lawmen, and that's it. My RP peripheral view only goes to as far as what Dakota's seen. I don't know shit about shit.
This may sound like a joke, but he killed someone with a hot air balloon. I'm gonna put blasters.
Billy Blaster.
That motherfucker deserves a spot.
You have to give him fucking
Absolutely.
credit.
Harry
He killed someone with a fucking hot air balloon. Name a better fucking kill.
Harry always talks about Billy Blasters because she was there that day that Ripley died. And she's like, I'm pretty sure Billy Blasters destroyed a whole family because when Ripley died, her husband drank himself to death and froze in the snow, and then their daughter was crucified.
Exactly.
And that's probably his fault.
Oh, girl getting crucified. Dakota brings it up all the fucking time. I have no idea, like, out of character, what actually happened. The only thing I remember is Dakota hearing, oh, this, like, little girl got crucified. It's such a fucked up story, man. I think that character was close with Miss Goose as well, and then Miss Goose was beaten and like executed in a biblical manner as well while that was all happening. She had the worst life ever, for sure. Nothing good came from that.
I'm really struggling with this one.
Yeah, it's
I
fucking
don't know.
hard.
Oh, somebody, yeah, Clayton. That's a good one. Thank you, Digimap.
Oh, Cesare.
See, I don't know anything about. Oh, Cesari's a good one too. Cesare and Sunny. I don't know. I never seen like even out of character anything about Clayton.
Loved
I've only
Clayton.
heard the stories and characters. Same with like Summers. It met Summers once, but I never. The problem with all of these things is when I started playing Wild, like actually playing, I never watched any point of views because I was streaming 18 hours a day. I was I would wake up, do my normal day-to-day things, and I'd be on the server, and I'd be exhausted by the time I got off the server and went to bed and just repeat.
Is your morning routine?
My morning routine is literally. You know what's weird? It's changed, and it's because of Phantom Pain that like, I have to get like a mirror now and like.
Oh, and you
look
do
in
the
the
leg
mirror.
thing?
Yeah. And so I spend like 20 minutes doing that while my coffee is being brewed. And then that's pretty much it.
Staring at your leg in the mirror.
Staring at my leg in the mirror, waiting for the coffee. When the coffee's good to go, unless I
That's
have
really
like
funny.
to go out and about, then I'll get on the PC and then usually chill until I feel awake, and then I'll hit go live and hop on the server.
We're really all living the same lives, huh?
So
You play with the mirror too?
Yeah, I stare at myself in the mirror for 20 minutes when I wake up.
So for me, I definitely agree with Dusty Danger, Clyde Davis. He's my top number one, and it's not because Hoop's in the chat.
I
Billy
love
Blast
him.
just talks about Clyde Davis every single time that you interact with him. Clyde Davis, the greatest outlaw ever. He's like always. That's the only reason I know of his existence, just
I'm pretty
because
sure
he wasn't around during my time.
I'm pretty sure Alice ran with him too, no?
Yeah,
She's
for a
brought him
little
up a
bit.
couple of times in character, I think.
Yeah, I think she ran with the Danger, whatever the gang was.
Yeah, before Mills, she was with Clyde, and Clyde and all them lived at the manor with Effie. And then there was a war with. It was a stupid war. I can't remember. It was with the Cut, and then I made them all leave the manor, and then she got with Mills, and then Hoop broke all of our hearts and made Clyde slowly die to a liver disease, and I hated him for it for the rest of my days.
How
You just
dare
knew you were in
create
for a good
story,
time.
Hoop?
Also, Young Mills. I say Young Mills. Old Mills is.
He's fucking washed.
Fallen off.
Young Mills. Wallaby, I reckon.
I'm not allowed to talk about Mills, okay? Contract of whatever it is. Conflict.
And number 4, like I guess I shout out to 10 Ton Gang with Fly Spec because I love Proven Elk, and Fly Spec brings a lot to the table. And it would be hard with that gang, but Fly Spec would be my pick.
Flyspeck is a good one.
And then
Alright.
then Law. Sorry, I'm on a roll.
No, go for it.
With Law, Smokey's deputy, because that the whole that he started that whole controversy with Baz, and that was hilarious.
The Braithwaite one.
Yeah.
Emmett.
Oh, Emmett.
Yeah.
We were all thinking Otis.
No, it's Emmett Braithwaite
Damn,
as
he
a
moves
deputy.
quick.
Yeah. Who else? Coyote's definitely there. Like, seeing what Peppo did with Law was was amazing, and
Yeah.
some of the story that he created was phenomenal. Nelson before she lost her mind and went crazy. And Bishop was up there for me as well. Sheriff Bishop.
Hmm,
If people remember Sheriff Bishop.
I do.
I think
But yeah,
that's
it's
before my time.
it's really hard to do. But yeah.
What was Panda's character before her law character?
Banks.
Was that
Banks.
Banks? Yeah.
Yeah.
Banks,
Banks was
definitely up
another
there.
great one, yeah. I can't put my own characters.
Honorable mention to Mingo.
Mingo's another good one. Yeah.
I'm gonna put Flyspeck and Mingo up there. Nobody else.
I was thinking about Sheriff Lewis, Dan. I
I
love
love Sheriff Lewis and Kai together.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
two of
I
them.
forgot about Kai.
Yeah, Riggs was a good one. Kai. There's so many people. Like the Mount Rushmore thing is just unfair. Like if you
Yeah,
start
it's too
tracking
hard.
back,
Yeah.
like and tracking through the histories of time or the whatever you call it, it's just
Yeah,
too
there's
hard.
been so many. There's so many great role players and great characters. It's like,
All right. I will say this: we'll probably do one more question because the second to last podcast I did was a 9-hour podcast. And
Okay.
honestly,
Yeah, we're not doing 9 hours.
yeah. So I'm gonna say all the questions we have lined up,
Mhm.
and then we can all pick one to answer.
Oh my god, you're like actually doing like podcast hosting stuff now.
Well, Falcor is helping
Okay.
a lot.
Never mind.
The greatest fucking mod I can ever ask for. So there is favorite encounter with law. What is their favorite bank job? What do you guys think the sheriffs will use to capture Dead End Gang? If your character had a recurring dream nightmare, what would it be? Saddest perma of a character you've killed. Most surprising or shocking moment in RP, or what's the best character quote you've heard a DEG member say? Or what's one scene you think you acted your ass off in?
I've forgotten all your questions.
That's a lot of fucking. That's 9 hours worth of questions right
The
there.
only one
Okay,
that I
here,
can fucking
here.
answer.
Can you copy and paste them?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
I
It's
think.
a good
I don't
idea.
know.
Favorite DG
Speed.
quote? Fuck you.
Please no.
I'm just gonna copy the full text. There
Fuck
you
you.
go. Fuck you.
How are you doing, Pete? How are you feeling? Fuck you. Okay.
I like this, Pete.
Do we answer all of them, or can we just
No,
pick
no.
one?
I
'Cause
think-
I don't
I
have this
think-
in me.
I think you guys could pick one that you want to answer. Like, not one for all of us to answer. Pick from those, and whichever one of those you want to answer it.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap it up.
I will say the only one that I can answer, because I don't know answers for all of them. My favorite bank job is the one that Dakota took her shirt off in.
I have an
That's
announcement
it.
to make.
Oh my god, I never want to rob a bank ever again. I want that to be the only one that she ever does. I thought that was so funny. That's it.
I can't answer the bank job one. There's been having Zip as a character robbing a bank. There's like too many ones that I just the entire time I was laughing my ass off at a character.
Dude, zip banks are so good. I was watching the one from the other day as well, and from like the start of the bank up until you were doing fucking rock paper scissors for an escape.
Us
so good.
bullshitting talking during the gunfight.
Yeah.
Making them all tell their life story at the same time. I had to mute my mic because I was dry heaving laughing.
It's so good.
And then the Jesse
I'm gonna
one
need to
where
watch that.
we framed Jesse Valentine to do like a dating show and Zip robbed the bank during the middle of it.
That one was good too.
the marriaging, like having a wedding during the bank job. There's been like too many fun bank jobs.
I'll
Anybody
answer one.
else? Okay.
My what was the question? It was for the killing one. Saddest perma of a character you've killed. I think I didn't necessarily like kill the character myself, but I was very much involved with the killing of them. Was Disby's character
Oh my
Dolly.
god, that one was fucking depressing.
That was Scout's very first kill, and it was over 2 fucking diamonds.
Oh my god.
So the story behind that was we robbed the bank, our group, the Mama's boys. I had a headache and crashed in the middle of the bank job during the shootout part. So by the time I logged back in, the rest of the gang had like ran away and Law chased them. They stayed at the big old house right outside of Ansburg, that big mansion on the riverside. And then a big group rode up, and they thought it was the same Law they were just in a shootout with, so they started shooting. Turns out it was Summer's group. Summer's group downs all of them, takes them to a camp to interrogate all of them, gives them a job to kill Dolly or steal Robbie Gould's gun. And the whole week, they had a week to do it. The whole week, Scout was asking Tommy over and over and over, Tommy, we need to get this gun. We need to get this gun. And I was fairly new. I didn't know like how Tommy really was. I didn't know how anybody was. I was, again, fairly new at the time. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I have it taken care of. And you know how Tommy is. Don't worry about
He's
it.
never gonna
Stop.
fucking do it if
Yeah,
he says that.
stop fucking moaning about it. I'm working on it. Like, that's how he's acting. I'm
working
like,
on it.
okay, he's the gang leader. He's working on it. Then it's literally the day of that Summers is going to kill everybody, including family members. And Scott's like, Tommy, what are we doing? He's like, we're out of time. How do we get to this Dolly Dixon woman? And Scout was like, I have her telegram. I can have her meet us. I can tell her I want to purchase 2 diamonds. And so she met me in the middle of fucking nowhere at Wallace Station to sell Scout these 2 diamonds, this completely innocent woman. And she was brutally stabbed and murdered.
She was stabbed like 1,000 times by Adelaide.
And all of this
Oh my god.
was for, she had no really relationship whatsoever to McGregor either. So like that whole thing fizzled out. She just fucking died. That was Scout's first kill. And that will always be probably my favorite like situation with that.
Wasn't that how Scout
Good
and Dakota
times.
met as well? Because Danny Ford, the bartender, was in love with Dolly or something, and then Dolly got
Yes.
killed, and then
Because of her red boots.
that was it. Yeah.
Yep. Good times. So anyways, never trust Tommy when he says he'll handle it.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck you.
So
I don't-
I can't. Sorry, Tank. If you want to
No,
go,
you go.
I can't answer many of those questions. Like I've had a lot of really fun lore encounters, to be honest. Bank jobs I haven't done very many. I don't want to answer the sheriff's one. I don't want to answer the recurring dream nightmare. Archie's only told Dakota right now. She's the only one that has the
Let's
meta.
go.
So that's a bit of fun. Saddest perma, I wouldn't call it sad, but years ago, Jack Reed killed the Orange Man. They baited him out into the swamps where he had a museum. And this is when you could have the moonshine jugs. We covered the hut in the swamps with moonshine, set it ablaze, burnt the place down, and then fed the Orange Man to an alligator.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the hell?
God damn.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Oh, real quick, most surprising or shocking moment for RP was finding out that Eddie had permad. That Smoky
don't
permad
even fucking
Eddie.
get me started.
It was fucking awful. It was awful.
I hated that day because Dakota was shot and Harry had to help her. And this whole time, she's known that Edwin's been dead for an hour or more, and I've already been sobbing over it. And Harry was like shaking and trying to help Dakota because she's bleeding, and she didn't want to tell anybody. She didn't want to have to tell anybody that Edwin was dead. It was such an awful, sad day.
The worst was like, you assume that somebody's just gonna be okay, right?
Mhm.
Kinda, and then actually finding out that he was dead after all of that was so fucked up.
And not to perma off stream, that son of a
Ugh.
bitch. I figured he'd do it on stream so I didn't have to worry about it, you know? He wasn't live, there was no way he's dead. That fucker.
Fucked up day.
My favorite encounters with Law on Harry are anytime Law actually try to push Harry on anything, because they don't. I wish they would more. I wish they would put a little bit of pressure on her. So there
Well,
was a
Coyote, right?
yeah, Coyote did a little bit, and then also Calvin Gray and Love had a whole thing with her, like a whole conversation, and then Manius reading a book to her, trying to get her to feel comfortable with him. Those
Good
are all
times.
my 3 favorite with Law. And then as far as sad permas, I've only killed one character, and it was Nelson. And I can't say that, I mean, it was sad, but I can't say that my character was sad about it. But I think the saddest I've felt killing somebody was when I participated in Charles Divine's execution. And that made me sad because Booker promised that she'd shoot him in the head and make it, quick and painless. And I really didn't want to kill Charles Divine because I liked him. And I was sad. And a reoccurring nightmare in a dream that Harry has, she feels incredibly guilty about Bolo's death, and she feels incredibly guilty about Eli's death.
Fuck Bolo.
I know, but she feels bad.
Who's Bolo?
There's a
Homeless
homeless guy, and she found a telegram in the trash. She was going through the trash. She found a telegram, and it was like correspondence between Bolo and a lawman. And she knew it was the right thing to do to give it to Scout, but she knows that, it's her fault because she gave, like, if she just got rid of that telegram, maybe he wouldn't have died right then and there, but because she did, he died. And Eli,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Eli, she could have told to, to run away or go away and not go down into the rug store, but the last thing she said to him was, "You're supposed to go down in the rug store." And he's like, "I bet the fuck I am," and then he died.
For Bolo, it makes it so much worse because the character was somebody who lived in that town before, and then Dead End Game came in, and there was like shootings. People were fucking dying in that town. It was overrun by goddamn criminals, and he wanted to get the law to help him so that he could get his town back where he lived, like for his whole fucking life. And he was just murdered. He was just hammered to death, and then he had a telegram nailed to his brain.
Fuck
You guys
that
just killed the
guy.
fucking hobo.
Yeah, he just killed a homeless guy who was just trying to get his life back together.
So I guess
Pull
that's
Stitches
Van
get stitches.
Horn.
that
Yeah.
counts as a sad perma, but I didn't actually kill him. But Harry feels
Yeah, you did.
responsible. Yeah, she
you
does.
So
fucking
funny.
killed him.
Yeah,
You
you
might as
did.
well
It was
call
a
it
That's-
murderer by
Rhaegar.
proxy.
Harry
That's
the
why
fucking
she
killer.
always says when everybody brings up, "Oh, innocent people aren't innocent," she's like, "I don't think they are. I think that people are just as guilty by not doing anything. Inaction is still inaction," and she feels really guilty about all the stuff that she sees happen, and she doesn't do anything about it. Especially Bolo.
Bolo had it fucking coming.
The last thing he said to her was, "Harry, you're a good friend."
I think he said the same thing to Dakota.
It haunts her.
Uh,
All right, Davey.
My favorite encounter with I'm trying to. There's been so many with DEG, but I will say my favorite encounter with Pip was on Guarma during the whole Kettlemans go to Guarma arc.
That
And
was
when the
fun.
law came in 20 deep, and the fact that we knew they were coming, and we were there when they came, and we just saw their numbers, and we were just like, holy shit. Well, today. Oh no, it wouldn't be that. It would be, well, today's the night.
Pete was there.
I've been trying
That-
to think of a favorite bank job, but there's been so many.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick a
there's-
bank.
Yeah, truly.
What about the
I
one
love the
with
one where we
Effie
jumped off
and...
the bridge.
Oh, with DG, I was gonna say.
that one
Yeah.
was
That was
really
the
good, actually.
first bank job that happened, and they all took a wagon out west and just hung out for a while. It was fun.
Did you guys see when it was Dead End Kids and we jumped off that bridge out the back of Valentine? We all fell onto the rock.
That's one of the greatest clips. Just one by one, you all smack into the rock.
We were there for fucking ages, just crying. It was too funny.
What about when that guy threw you off the train?
Oh, the fucking Edbert
Yeah.
throwing everyone off the train. Because we went to jump onto the train, and it was going too fast, so everyone just slipped off the roof and died. That was another good clip as well.
Who hasn't answered this question? Or any of these questions? This.
You.
I'll answer the saddest. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
speak
no,
over
go,
you, mate.
go.
Saddest part of a character you kill. Again, I wasn't the killer per se, but I was there for it, and it was Emmett, because Pete had to go back. Pete had, like, you know, this brother-sister relationship with Effie, and knew that he. I did say Pip, didn't I? Did I not say Pip?
You said Pete.
Oh well,
Pete.
whoops, slip of the tongue.
Pete's
but yeah,
everywhere. Damn.
having to go back and sort of, like, you know, that betrayal of trust between the two characters, and knowing that, well, what had just happened, and the fact that she just lost her husband, even if even if things weren't exactly, well, no, things were all right between you, weren't it? Pip just had it in his head that they weren't, and that he was, like, controlling and stuff, which he was kind of, right.
No, I mean, yeah, he was. He was. At that time, Effie thought he was perfect, but as time went on, she realized, maybe he was a little bit fucked up.
But yeah, what were you gonna say, Bud?
I don't remember. Was I gonna answer? Maybe. I think the only question that I can answer here, because everything else has been way too fucking many. It would be the one scene I feel like I acted my ass off, was the one where Enola and Zip got in a fucking 3-hour argument outside Valentine.
What was
And I
it
had to
about?
pretend to be angry, and I was super stoned and having a great time out of character and screaming in character.
I can't imagine a 3-hour argument with you, bud.
I feel like fuck you is needed on that one, but it was about Zip joining the Kettleman gang, and then she made
Oh.
friends with the DiCenzo.
Didn't they kill her?
The DiCenzos did, yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
But this was before Carlo, I think, was the one that Enola was, like, friends with, and Zip. She kept, like, begging. She, like, got on her knees and begged Zip to come back. Like, come back away from the Kettleman gang.
Yeah.
And started blaming him for, like, Ollie joining the Kettleman gang as well. And, like, all these things. And Zip was just like, you're sitting here telling me I'm gonna get killed, yet you're brothers with a Kettleman and you're best friends with, like, a DiCenzo.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much, like, I don't think that's the reason she got killed, but it ended up leading to, like, Abigail ended up telegramming a bunch of people that she was dying, because Enola had, like, a disease where her lungs were filling up with water, so she was gonna die anyways. and she only had like less than like a month to live before the Chenzos actually killed her.
Oh.
And it's one of the biggest factors on Zip like dropping the war, like not actually getting blood that, and then the bastard stuff started happening with Zip. But Abigail went and told everybody, and Enola blamed Zip for it. So Enola came to Blackwater, and in front of Sheriff Hearst, Sheriff Rabbit, I think Sand might have been there, and Kramer, Enola comes up and pistol whips Zip. And it's the first time she committed a crime, did anything, and that was the last time Zip saw Enola.
And then she died.
And then she died the next day. And Zip had a telegram from her to meet with her that day. And I think because she pistol whipped us, Zip got arrested, and it was OOC days. And so he found out in Siska that she had died as well. Actually, no, that's not true. He got out, and then the bastards told him. But yeah, it was just a whole fucking shit show.
So the bastards tell him every time a family member dies.
Yeah, I'm seeing some history repeating right now.
Yeah, so Jabas and Aurora are the ones that told Zip Enola died. And I think Rebecca. And then Everett was the one that told Zip that Isaac died. You know what's fucking crazy, actually? I think Zip found out about Prophet from the bastards as well.
Oh my fucking god.
So all 3 Quills that have died, Zip found out from the bastards.
Starting to see a trend here. They're behind all of it.
Starting to see a really fucked up trend here.
They're really the fucking puppet masters. Pulling at the strings.
Oh man, that's fucking crazy. But yeah, that's probably the only time I've acted in the server. The rest is just self-insert.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
I love just torturing people for fun.
Yeah, me too. I love, ruining people's days by robbing all of the things that they own.
Right?
That's my favorite part. I pat myself on the back when I do it, actually. I go, good job, buddy.
That's why I had Booker, so I could, act out my dreams of torture and.
Booker was a good self-insert.
Yeah, I could just be a content, it would be fine. Everybody thought I was just being a character, but I was just being myself.
The way you act on Harry and Sarah being like nice and loving, it's such good acting.
I think they're all just separate parts of my personality, just all separated. I should just combine them and just be myself.
Maybe, or maybe not treat me out of character always like Booker, but suggestions.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep sending me death threats every single day, Sarah. It's really
I don't
weird.
know why you just keep sending me bolt action with blood dripping from the butt.
Yeah, and that one time that you nailed Ethan a pipe bomb, that was weird.
Remember when Remember when I did Slash Me holds the bolt action like a baseball bat and just beat Zip with it?
Which time? The worst fucking Booker thing was when Zip was starving and she chewed up her steak.
I was eating IRL. I was eating IRL.
And you spit the chewed steak on the ground and made Zip eat it. Fucking horrible.
I don't
good if you ask me.
I don't remember. One time I made Edwin. He was being really good and he made Booker some fish stew. And he went to hand it to her, and I knocked it out of his hands, and it fell on the ground.
Mackenzie, buddy. I'm loving RPing with you because I didn't get much RP with you.
I said, "No, scoop it up, clean it up," and he did. And I said, "Now eat it." And he's just eating it, and he's going, it's good.
Oh man, good times. Good torture times in Cisco.
Good emotional torment.
Good emotional torture. Making Zib pick up Wallaby's shit bucket and then shoves him in it.
Really we had a nice talk though. Somebody brought it up that one time where Booker sat you down or Zip down and is like, "Listen, you need to relax because you've been in and out of here like 20 times this week. What's going on?"
That was the first time Zip actually listened to Booker, and they had like a heart-to-heart sitting at the boxes, and you were like, "I'm not even gonna torture you because it's obviously not fucking doing anything."
It was a good talk.
I think that was one of the last like. Actually, no, you definitely tortured us after that. Never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. I think Halloween was one of the last times you tortured Zip.
What did I do on Halloween? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. My favorite torture, I think, would be when you were dragging Zip around with the lasso everywhere, and then you attached a broom to Zip's head, and you made Zip clean the gallows with his head.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Dude, it was like an hour and a half. I was up on those gallows. Because I had to keep like inspecting and laying down, and then /me shakes head back and forth, and I did the entire gallows. I also have a clip of the pip treatment.
Oh.
And I think you made Zip sing, or you were singing something or something.
I was singing, yeah. I think I was singing A Whole New World to somebody. I think it was Pip. I think the most disgusting thing I ever did, I did to Tara or Dakota and Scout when I made her and Matt Scout.
Just fucking throw up and shit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then I think I don't remember if I smacked Scout with a shitty vomity sock or if I shoved it in his mouth.
She shoved it in his mouth.
Jesus Christ.
Ew.
Horrible.
That was horrible.
I'm missing context. Why did you do that?
I don't remember.
Because Booker.
Because I felt like it.
Oh, talking about therapy session, the Scout, Dakota, and Pete fucking thing. I cannot keep that together. I don't know where the fuck I came from on that. I think everyone was on.
You're like a real life therapist.
I think Dakota and Scout and Edwin therapy with Booker in the mines was really good.
Hey, that caused an affair.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. You ruined his life.
That was great.
Yeah, Eddie was in Sisika going, you should, things are going bad, obviously. But listen, pal, listen, buddy, listen, my friend. You do just do this and this and this, and everything will be fine. They get out 2 weeks later. He's kissing her behind a barn. That fucker.
I wanted Dakota and Edwin would be in the mines at night, and then Dakota would tell Edwin, like, talk about their relationship, and she'd be like, yeah, this keeps happening and this keeps happening, and we've talked about this, but then this, and then he would take that and go to Scout, and then like basically exactly what Dakota would say, relay it to Scout, and then when they got out of Sisika, the relationship with Scout and Dakota just fucking plummeted.
I remember when you guys first came in to Sisika, that I don't remember when it was, but it was before that therapy session in the mines, and I went over to Scout as Booker, and I said, do you care about that inmate over there? And he said, I was expecting him to either say no or hesitantly say yes, but
oh my god, yeah.
He said a very sad, I don't know anymore.
And then Booker told Dakota that, and Dakota was like, fuck
So
man.
Booker ruined their life.
It was so great.
Yeah, that really was like the turning moment for it all, I think. Good times. Would do it again. Would do it all over again.
Would do it one more time. Just a single one more time.
Yeah, just one more.
Just one
Scout and
more.
Dakota should get back together so that she can cheat on him
God,
just with somebody else this
right.
time.
Oh god.
Poor Harry.
She'll get over
Harry's
it.
fine. She's fine, right? She's okay. She just has a problem with trauma dumping on complete strangers, which we've talked about, and I've tried to be better, but sometimes it's really hard.
Just cry about it.
Harry, you have to stop beating people up. You will die.
Okay. sorry, Scout. I'm sorry. I just
She says,
know.
and then she strangles Zip
And
a
then
week
she
later.
said, Zip and Alice, and who's next?
I just don't. I just think that she's so like anxious and paranoid and just worried all the time. She doesn't have an outlet. She's just angry.
Drink.
Yeah, we
Drink.
should,
No. She
we
used to
should get her
drink.
addicted to opium.
Drink.
She used to drink, and then Scout's like, maybe you shouldn't.
Scout's
Be-
controlling. That's what I'm learning from this. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
drink.
You're controlling shit.
She
Hit up
was
Zip.
ru-
I'll make some NyQuil.
She was running around like drinking, and Dakota says she was getting naked. She would take off her boots and because it's so easy to make Harry look disheveled. You just take off her hat and you make her face sad, and she just looks fucked. It's very
She'd fucking
easy.
strip down to her corset and jeans and be running around barefoot like a little creature.
She was
And then-
showing ankle.
Showing
Just a little
ank.
bit.
Showing Ank. What the fuck?
Showing ank. With a little bit of shoulder.
I wish I could. Okay, any closing statements?
Thank
I'm
you.
going to Disneyland.
Um,
Oh, that's lovely.
Why
Oh,
would you
that's
say that?
beautiful. Which one?
Mike-
Fucking liar.
I don't know.
my
You're a piece
closing
of shit.
statement is that Vert says that we've been in Van Horn for a year, and it's our
Oh, yeah, that's
anniversary.
right.
But I would like to point out that we had a little bit of a discussion, and I was right, and we haven't been there a year until May 2nd.
Yeah, it's been almost a year, which is
Ooh.
basically
Almost
a
a
year.
year.
It's been so long. It hasn't felt that long at all. It just reminds me that I've wasted a year of my actual life in RP.
Was the slaughterhouse? The slaughterhouse was before the saloon, right?
Yeah.
It was
Mhm.
like before
And a little
and
bit
during.
during.
It's crazy from someone outside of Dead End Gang to like, because I think the first like non-hostile interactions I've ever had with Wallaby was when Pip did a gun deal with Wallaby at the slaughterhouse. But there was like a lot of hostile like stuff when Zip first met Wallaby, like the throwing Eddie off the water tower and Eddie cracking his skull. And his brain was fucking leaking.
Good times.
And Wallaby was singing the song about like the don't play on my lawn. And whistling at us, and Zip was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Don't play on my lawn.
Whatever the song is, he was like singing that, and that's the first time Zip like had a conversation.
Oh my
Or
fucking god.
even heard Wallaby speak, and he's fucking sitting here singing, and it's Jack, Zip, and Alice, and James. And then the law, that was before guards and Siska. The law came in with fucking pumps because they got a telegram saying inmates are killing each other, and there might be an inmate dying. And the law just stormed Siska with pump actions and lined everybody up, took everything out of our pockets. It was like crazy. And then I think the second time was James was trying to kill Wallaby. And Jack calmed that down. We ended up doing a gun deal with Wallaby. But those were like the first two times that met Wallaby. And then everything
now
else
look at
was-
him.
And now look at him.
A prisoner.
A prisoner.
A
Wait, what?
Western prisoner.
Uh-oh. I knew it.
Just kidding, buddy. You can leave whenever you want.
Sure.
With a hole in your back.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, that's what Wallaby did to Harry. You can leave, but do you really want to? You don't want to. You want to stay. All your friends are here. You're safe here. It's okay.
But Harry was that like the first time that Harry showed up? Because I feel like Harry kicked around voluntarily during the saloon
Yeah.
stuff, and then once, like, we got to Van Horn, there was a mild choice.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's there forever. She can't leave now.
Yeah. Which is great. I think it's great.
I hope
You
Zip
like-
kills Harry.
Do you? I'm not giving you another perma. Fuck you.
So I'm saying I hope. Maybe one day.
one of my favorite questions that people ask. Do you like Van Horn, Harry? Yeah, I like Van. I love it. I love it. It's my home. I'm safe here.
She's crying.
I'm safe. I can't. I mean, I don't want to leave. Scout's there. We're
Slash me
fine.
is
Everything's
totally
fine.
lying.
/me is lying.
Slash me totally
That was the
lying right now.
greatest
my
thing
God.
ever when that happened with Tommy.
Is like.
/me is lying.
What about
so
slash-
fucking funny?
/me Scout will remember this.
Those are my favorite /me's. You'll remember this. I'm
He
like,
did that
You
once
can't do
too.
anything about it. You can't
He did-
say anything about it.
He did it once to
Great.
me when Harry was crying, like sobbing. I was crying, and he did that. I wanted to laugh so much. He's like, "Okay, should we go back over there?" Yeah, I was laughing.
I'm gonna start doing one with Archie. Reputation with Archie increased. Archie liked this.
+1 spell. Verts did one +1 to stitching skill to somebody. I can't remember who it was.
Well, no, that was on Terry, wasn't it? When he was in the fucking medical tent or some shit.
Dude,
I don't
when Terry
remember.
used to do fucking medical in the Blackwater tent when people would be actively dying. That was so
Yeah.
fucking funny.
Oh,
Get water on her.
Davey, when you did /me is dead, I freaked out. I was ready
Inside.
Yeah.
Inside.
I was ready to liquidate
Let me
all of
clarify.
Harry's assets. I was ready to start giving my shit away. I was gonna go get the money, and I was ready to die.
Yeah, it was pretty cruel.
She'll get over it.
Well deserved.
If you ask
All
me.
right.
Sources are saying that was with Boyd, not Terry. I'm just reading chat.
Who?
Boyd.
Fuck Boyd.
No, I'm pretty sure we did a sketch in Blackwater with Terry as well, which was very similar.
Oh, okay.
Fuck Boyd.
Agreed.
Good
But yeah,
riddance.
yeah. I mean, my closing statement is stay in school, don't do drugs,
Unless without me.
And don't RP.
without
Yeah.
yeah, and role play.
My
RP
closing
is a
statement
drug.
Don't RP, or you will
Roleplay
wake
is
up in the
cringe,
morning
remember?
and then
Role play is cringe. Wake up in the morning, look in the mirror,
look in
eat
the mirror.
breakfast. And roleplay.
Oh yeah, I forgot the breakfast thing. That's probably important. Do all the drugs and RP.
My
Mhm.
closing statement is fuck you.
Oh, you
Yeah.
stole mine! You stole mine! God damn it! Oh.
All right.
All
Mine
right.
is bye-bye.
Cool.
Thanks for watching. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You and RP.
Fuck you. I'm
Fuck
Fuck
you.
Thanks for the podcast.
Bye.
Okay, you're.
I hope you guys enjoyed.
Bye.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
All right. We left. Don't worry. There's not gonna be any more fuck yous.